waiting for you to open it. Surely you've had enough anticipation by this point? That appears to be all of the gifts. You have several new suits. Those will make dressing easy. Whatever you say.
We could be best friends. If I like people with an ass for a face. Oh, I didn't notice you there. How'd you like being so insignificant? I can help you find what you're looking for. Step one, pull your head out. What are you doing? Things are music and sunshine and love and play. I've said it before. Not like those mean gnomes. I'm a million times worse. You're going to make...
I bought you a present because you are such a good friend.
My lady.
Please. as a token of my
Come on
friendship.
over and taste
I
the
have
best
the best
food
shop
for
in
miles
Aurora.
around.
Good.
The best in all Aurora.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
I cannot thank you enough for your kindness.
Here, a gift for you, friend. Have you seen the towns overseas? The buildings are huge.
How are you, Your Majesty?
Shop here and you're liable to rub elbows with
Here you go.
celebrities.
With a
Enjoy the one
firearm,
who owns
you
the
can
place.
protect yourself or your family from a safe distance.
Ah, hello. The armory is at your disposal. Excellent.
How are you, Your Majesty?
Friends should be generous, and I want you to have this. Enjoy
By
my shop,
Aurore.
friend.
At your command. Awaiting your command, my lady. Everything all right, Your Majesty?
Those foreigners know the cost of everything and the value of nothing. You are most generous, outsider. Most generous.
Here, a gift for you, friend. Friends should be generous, and I want you to have this.
Your Majesty.
Hello.
No. If you'd like to equip your new rifle, it is available in your armory.
Friends should be generous. And I want you to have this.
Greetings, Mom.
I bought you a present because you are such a good friend.
Here, a gift for you, friend.
Queen.
I bought you a present.
I hope
Because
you
you're
will
such a
accept
good
this gift,
friend.
Your Majesty.
Here, have this and think of me, Your Majesty.
Here, a gift for you, friend.
Mindless fools. None of you know what it means to be a true Auroran.
As a sign
Here
of my
you go.
esteem for you,
Enjoy, my
I've brought
friend.
you a gift.
Salutations, my
My
most
lady.
gracious lady.
I'm at your command. At your service. Greetings, Your Majesty.
How are you, Your
At your
Majesty?
orders, ma'am.
It's more beautiful than I dared to imagine. And heavy, too. Our experts estimate it's worth a small fortune. Of course, now the question becomes, what do you wish to do with this fine stone? Shall I deposit the money from the sale into the treasury? Or perhaps you would prefer the funds were channeled into, let us say, a more personal account? It is almost too perfect to waste on anything as trivial as protecting the kingdom, wouldn't you say, Your Majesty? A truly selfless act. I am constantly in awe of your generous and noble spirit. Putting the safety of your people before your own reward. Bravo, Your Majesty. Bravo. You have shown yourself to be a most talented monarch. The treasury is positively overflowing. You might even consider borrowing a little for yourself. Of course, it never hurts to earn even more. Who knows what the future will bring? With that in mind, I would like to discuss the thorny issue of child benefits, which were abolished under your brother's rule. There are vocal elements within the community who are clamouring for us to bring it back. In the interests of the Treasury, and of the long-term welfare of the people, I have a counter-proposal. It's somewhat radical, but rather brilliant, if you don't mind me saying. we charge people for every child they have. This would keep the population low, but more importantly, the treasury high. Is it really fair to bring new life into such an uncertain world? And won't that gold go to help the children who have already been born? Of course, you may also choose to keep Logan's policies. The matter is entirely in your hands. Very well, Your Majesty. The breeders amongst the rabble will be ecstatic, I'm sure. Perhaps you are considering making a personal donation to the treasury to make up for the shortfall. It is entirely your decision, as always. Shall we proceed with the rest of your appointments? Here is the royal agenda for the day. As you can see, you have 2 audiences in the throne room to begin. I've heard rumours that Reva's latest proposals are both scandalous and delicious. It should be most entertaining.
I trust you're well, madam.
Greetings, ma'am.
Madam.
All stand for the Queen.
Your Majesty,
This hearing concerns the future of the Bowerstone Shelter and Orphanage. Paige will speak for the disenfranchised people of the city. Riva will dispute her cause.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, the shelter has long been the only refuge for the homeless, the poor, and the orphaned. And until we can change the whole world for the better, it will continue to be their only hope of survival. Isn't it time we held out a helping hand to those who need it most? The shelter is underfunded and the building has fallen into disrepair. Invest in the shelter and orphanage, and perhaps we can begin to create a better future for Albion's forgotten people.
I could not agree more. The city and its people are in dire need. But it is not charity they require. It is love. I propose we use this dilapidated building to help both them and ourselves. For love and money have always gone hand in hand. Let us inaugurate Bowerstone's first brothel.
A brothel?
Brothel, bordello, whorehouse. The name is unimportant. What matters is that the people get the love they need, and we get their money.
Yes, it's for your Majesty to decide. Refurnish the shelter and orphanage, or convert it into a house of ill repute.
The poor of this city have suffered enough. We will renovate the shelter and orphanage.
The Bowerstone Shelter shall be refurbished at the Crown's expense.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You've done the right thing.
As you wish, Your Majesty. The parentless tykes and their destitute friends shall have a palace to call their own. Are you a beggar, too lazy to own your own clothes? Or perhaps an orphan, aching for a bowl of gruel? Then come to Riva Industries Shelter and Orphanage, where you'll find food, beds, clothes, and even new parents. No matter who you are, we care, even if you don't deserve it.
Today, you will deal with a pressing environmental issue, the disposal of the city's waste. Riva will offer his proposal. A member of the Morningwood community will stand against him.
You may speak.
Your Majesty, I'm sure you will have noticed a certain aroma permeating the city of late, even more nauseating than usual. I fear it is not merely the stench of the underprivileged. Bowerstone is beginning to have a serious waste disposal issue. We require an inexpensive and efficient solution, and I believe I have hit upon one. Now, currently, part of our waste is being disposed of in the Morningwood Marsh. With very little effort, Riva Industries could redirect all of the Bowerstone sewer system to flow directly into that region. As you know, it's a desolate place with no financial or cultural value to the kingdom. There can be little discussion as to the logic of this decision.
Hang on, this isn't right. Not right at all. We're all children of the soil. It's in our hearts, it's in our blood. It's under our fingernails. What I mean is, we're all equal when it comes to dirt, like. From dirt we come to dirt we go, yes? We who reside in Morningwood have as good a claim to being clean as anyone. And what of Morningwood itself? Its nature spirits, its woodland elves, and water fairies. Do they not deserve freedom from pollution too? Don't destroy paradise with your urban dregs, man. Channel the waste. Be one with the cycle of life. You have all these, like, factories and stuff, don't you? Turn one into a, what do you call it? One of those things, a sewage reclamation facility, right on.
What shall you decide, Your Majesty?
Can you imagine the fumes we would be releasing into the air if we were to recycle our waste? I mean, really.
Morningwood is to be left unspoiled. We will find other ways to deal with Bowerstone's sewage problem.
The Queen has spoken. Morningwood shall not be used as a waste site. The Sanitation Committee will look into safer alternatives.
Groovy. You are like a majestuous eagle, Your Majesty. You were in touch with your inner innards. Granny Nature thanks you from, like, the bottom of her heart.
A pity. I must admit I was rather looking forward to breathing fresh air, but I'm sure Your Majesty knows best. There is nothing as important as the health and hygiene of our citizens. As such, Riva Industries is delighted to announce the opening of the Bowerstone Sewage Recycling Facility, because there can be no affluence without effluence.
The day is almost over, Your Majesty. Only one more appointment left. Page has requested a meeting in the old rebel headquarters. How very cloak and dagger. I wonder what she wants.
Nice to see you, Your Majesty.
The Queen! Wait till I tell Mum about it. The Queen! us out?
Your Majesty?
It's not every day a queen walks into the rebel headquarters. You've changed the world since we last stood here.
You had a lot to do with it, Paige.
But we still haven't changed things enough. Without Logan's troops, crime is becoming a serious problem. There's one man in particular, Nigel Ferret. He's making this city his own. Every criminal in Bowerstone reports to him now. He's too powerful for me to deal with, and he's not easy to find. But I know how you can get to him. Good. Kid went undercover with a gang of robbers and found out their plans. They're going to strike the tavern in Bowerstone Market. If you get there in time, you can stop the raid. And at least one of those thugs must know where Ferret is holed up.
If you cooperate, you won't get hurt. But if you give us any trouble, we'll kill you. Now, just so you know we mean business, I'd like one of you to give us trouble, so we can kill him as an example to the rest. Who's it gonna be then? Oh look, we have a volunteer. The Queen, no less. Have at her, fellas. I love killing rich... Stop standing around here.
It is no longer advantageous for any of us to frequent the hideout in Industrial. Presently, I shall inaugurate a new centre of operations in Bowerstone Market. You've been provided with a key which will permit access. Please endeavour to prevent its transference to an unauthorised individual.
Okay. You're not friends with that Saker, are you? Look, here's the boy. Excellent.
Yes!
I'm always a joy to see.
I'm at your command.
Well met, my dear.
Hello, ma'am.
Trust your will, madam.
Greetings, your majesty. My lady.
Hello, your majesty.
You again? It does tend to obviate the entire objective of maintaining a secret hideout, if your enemies can simply infiltrate whenever they've the inclination. Lads, perform the specific services for which I employ you. Expeditiously.
Huh?
Killer! Fast!
Throne's gonna be...
She's using magic!
I can't live one more day in this cell.
You're doomed, girl. Doomed.
I believe I can state with relative confidence that your efforts are in vain. Even should it transpire that you vanquish my associates, this door is completely impenetrable. In addition to which, this cell contains a secret egress through which I may abscond whenever I desire. Meanwhile, my compatriots shall brutalize your person.
Looks like we're going to be doing this a long time.
You haven't lost your touch. I'm surprised his men were foolish enough to fight you.
Now, truth be told, my superlative intellect notwithstanding, it would appear this is not, in fact, the specific cell I so confidently referenced earlier. The one with the secret exit has 2 beds. All right, you have prevailed, Your Majesty. I concede. However, I entreat you to entertain a certain proposal.
You have nothing to offer, Ferret. It's over.
Ah, that pronouncement is objectively devoid of merit. I happen to have on my person a substantial quantity of currency. Let me go free, and the money is yours.
As far as I'm concerned, you can stay in there and rot. But that's for the Queen to decide.
You royal miscreant! This grievous malefaction shall be rewarded with equally grievous retribution.
The treasury is simply bursting with wholesome, nutritious gold. I sometimes spend hours staring at this glorious accomplishment. Our wealth surpasses all expectations. I must congratulate you, Your Majesty. But the kingdom demands your attention once more. The time has come to make a decision on Albion's drinking laws. Under Logan's rule, our citizens are restricted in the amount of alcohol they can purchase per day. As you can imagine, this has proved a rather unpopular measure. And yet many respected members of the community think the law does not go far enough. They would like alcohol consumption wholly abolished among the commoners. They feel, rather reasonably, that it leads to improper behavior and raucous public spectacles. These concerned nobles are willing to pay handsomely for the change in policy. Meanwhile, the commoners themselves would like the restrictions completely lifted, claiming they infringe upon their freedom and their rights. You cannot please everyone, Your Majesty, but you must make a decision. When one considers the grander scheme of things, is giving up cheap ale not a small price to pay for the protection of their very lives? As you wish. Let the streets be filled with poor, drunken revellers. Perhaps it will take their minds off their impending doom. This will leave a noticeable gap in our budget, however. If you are feeling particularly generous, you may wish to make a personal donation to bridge that gap. Let us move on to other matters, Your Majesty. You have a busy day in the throne room ahead. Samuel, the head of the Brightwall Academy, is ready to plead his case. I sincerely hope he isn't after a handout, though I'm sure Master Reaver will be the voice of reason, as always.
At your service, my queen.
Friends should be generous. Mighty One, greetings. Here, a gift for you, friend.
I bought you a present. Valverines? I've killed 50 of them, with nothing but a rusty cutlass. The moon? I've been there, in a great balloon. It's amazing, and almost never rains. Spells and that, I know them all. Cuisine? Every dish ever prepared. I've eaten it. Inventions? That was me. I invented them. Oh, and I wrote this book. Not impressed? Well, you would be if you knew I was illiterate. And paralysed. And blind.
Because you are such a good should be generous. And I want
Your
you to have
Majesty,
this.
You have so many followers, even in the farthest reaches of Albion.
Your Majesty, welcome to our temple. I lament the forlorn state in which you find it. Before the darkness came, this room held our most sacred treasure. I had lost all hope of recovering it, for that would require journeying into the desert. We have lost so many people. Who among us would have the courage to face the sands now?
You can count on me, Your Majesty.
Thank you. You will forgive me for not being more forthright. I am unaccustomed to asking rulers for their help. As for the matter in question, this chamber once housed the temple's sacred dyes. Our rituals cannot be completed without them. The dyes are made from rare flowers found throughout Aurora and the surrounding desert. Gathering them has always been a dangerous task, but when the darkness fell upon us, it became an impossible one. If you can find these flowers and bring them to me, I will begin making the dyes again, and perhaps our people can recover some of the faith they have lost. We will gladly share them with you, of course. You have done a great service for us. On behalf of all Aurorans, I thank you. The green dye represents growth, whether through birth or learning. The red dye represents love in our culture, whether that's shared between betrothed couples or parents and their children.
Welcome to the sanctuary. Fancy a bit of counting, do you? I suppose that anything you achieve will be recorded here. That seems to be the way of it. The armory is at your disposal. Pistols are less accurate than rifles, but are faster and more maneuverable. Ah, you have impeccable taste in gauntlets.
I just sent my letter off to the company. Hopefully they'll know what to do. Here you are.
Bit of a shortage on goods, gentlemen, so I'll offer you more if you've got what I'm looking for.
Welcome to the sanctuary. The armory is at your disposal.